Recently, David Icke went on Talk Radio and was interviewed by Eamon Holmes and Syra Khan. Now, if you've never heard of this loathsome woman, she's one of ITV's Moose Women. She was one of the first to be kicked out of Big Brother, and recently she told the whole world that because she lost her sex drive, her husband would go and shag other women. So knowing David Icke's opinion on political correctness, I really thought the sparks would fly. Then Eamon Holmes asked a question about phone tapping.
Last night, I was on the phone at 11 o'clock at night to my elder brother, Leonard, right? And he attended your arena conference in Dublin. And we finished the conversation about you, and I said good night. And then suddenly there was a notification of 2 David Icke YouTube videos. And I thought, gosh, I didn't think my brother was very tech savvy. That was amazing. So I phoned him this morning. I said, thanks for those 2 video clips. They're very good. He said, I didn't send you 2 video clips. They weren't on my email. They weren't on my text messages. They weren't on WhatsApp. But these were, they dropped down on my phone. 2 YouTube suggestions about David Icke. Why did that happen?
It's very simple. I've come across many stories like this. In fact, to such an extent that Facebook has had to say, actually, we're not doing it on purpose, or it's just for advertising. They are actually listening to conversations. Obviously, you've not got a human being sitting there, although if they're targeting someone, it's a human being. But the general population, it's algorithms. We're talking AI now. I mean, the possibilities of human manipulation of communication and the gathering of data now are limitless increasingly. And what happens is because many people have had conversations about, say, a product.
An aftershave, a concert ticket.
And then it comes up on Facebook, and they weren't even, thinking that they were talking to Facebook. These are private conversations.
Can I just ask you?
So, just 5 minutes into the conversation, and she said her cage rattled already. Now, bear in mind, we're talking about phone tapping here, either algorithmically or by a human being. What she says next is incredible.
What's wrong with that? So for some people listening
her husband's in this business.
Well, what's wrong with that? So for some people listening
her husband's in this business.
Well, for some people, it's about convenience. It's about saving time. It's, that's exactly what I was looking for. I'll click onto it. So for some people...
So that's more important than having private conversations in your own home, then?
Well, for me, if I'm talking about a holiday and a holiday comes up...
Who else is listening to that conversation? And what else you say apart that is not a product?
But I don't live my life looking at what ifs.
No, you don't. No, you don't, and that's why you're a doddle to scam, and you're a doddle.
But I've never been scammed.
How do you know that?
How do you know that?
But because I haven't. What's a scam?
If a product comes up and you buy it, you haven't been scammed.
Well, I made the choice to buy it.
You think you have?
Well,
it's been put in front of you. If it wasn't put in front of you, you might not have bought it.
There's lots of products that come up that I decide not to buy, and there are some that I decide to buy.
But no, say, Sarah, for instance, I'm planning a secret holiday with my secret girlfriend, and the message comes through going to Hawaii, and my wife sees
Well, has that ever happened to you?
But it could...
Well, how many people has it happened to?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Don't judge the world by your own experience and your own opinions.
Call in if that's happened to you. Call in to find out.
And the point...
I mean, that's astonishing, isn't it? I mean, we know these liberal leftards want more control, they want more government, and now they're actually saying, yes, we want our private telephone conversations to be bugged. I mean, that's just insane, isn't it?
What's wrong with that? So for some people listening
Her husband's in this business.
So then, David Icke goes for the progressive left kill.
What is called the progressive left. Attacking Trump and saying it's terrible what's happened. I say to them, look in the mirror. Because the reason that someone like Trump could come to power, the reason that these parties are coming to power in Europe, is because so many people have been left voiceless for so long. For instance, if you have what is called political correctness, and we were talking earlier about censorship and what you can hear and what you can say. Political correctness is simply manipulating the population to silence itself. And when you talk, as I'm sure you do, to the general population, you find that their views of these issues are not the same as the mob. But the mob have got very organised, the Twitter stormers, and unfortunately, because so many people, particularly celebrities, are frightened of upsetting people, frightened of losing or tainting their image as they perceive it. In other words, frightened of what other people think. Again and again you see it. They're down on their knees, they're calling for the sackcloth and the ashes. I'm ever so sorry, please forgive me. And if we go on doing this, if we go on, then we're handing over power over our lives and our society to the mob, the people that intimidate people into their version of everything. And this is where we are now, increasingly. The only right in the eyes of these people is I am right. And because I am right, anyone else that has a different opinion to me must by definition be wrong. And if they're wrong, then their right to freedom of speech is nothing like as important as mine, because it doesn't matter if they have freedom of speech, because they're wrong. This is the process of thinking, or what passes for it, that is increasingly having these vociferous, loud, intimidating people impose their will on everyone else.
What you're doing is, rather than listening to the point, you just want to shout racist, which is what's happened in this country for 15, 20 years.
Because you are.
No, what have I said? What have I said that's racist?
Because you are.
Tommy, you're so weak.
Tommy, you've got nothing to say about that, do you?
Tommy, let Carla speak.
You're getting
what
really
have I said that's racist?
You are a racist.
What have I said that's racist?
You're a racist.
What have I said?
Carla.
And you do not represent the views of the people in this country at all.
Nothing.
Carla?
You've got no substance to your argument. You're not even backing up.